go to that camp, there are Italians. All of them are white. Most of them are white. How do you think white people will stay in a dilapidated area? This is puzzling. You want to dilapidate? This is all I'm asking today. I'm asking all Nigerians to prove Wike. Enough is enough in this country. This is our country. I work here. I work in this country. For God's own sake, it should be probed. All land should be probed. It's grabbing land that I say so. Because I'm a Nigerian. He is a Nigerian. Why should he grab lands from people who labored for it? Where was he when Abuja was a forest? Why? What? And I challenge him. I challenge Mr. President, whose name is being used and polluted, that he must probe Wike. Enough is enough.
Has this matter
we worked here. This is our capital.
All right, madam. Have you approached the court on this matter? Because at the end of the day, I mean, I'm sure you'd have pursued your legal options. Have you approached the court, and what's the standing currently?
I've asked the lawyers to take over and to look into all the matters. But as I said, I am a journalist and I've done my investigation journalism. The land grabbing in Abuja is not going to help this country. Enough is enough. And you shouldn't forget, I'm a chief from the Niger Delta. Our money is being used here. Look at our home. We are dilapidated. If you want to talk about this dilapidation, go to the Niger Delta. Go to my grandmother's house. Go to my grandfather's house, where the oil has been pumped. That is where you should go to. That is where you should help Nigerians if you want to. Not money brought to Abuja and is sunk here and is being taken over by big men of the country.
Okay, madam.
And Shinda, I am going.
Before I go on to tell you what I have to say, let me tell you the person whose land Wike is trying to grab. The person whose land Wike is trying to steal. Let us use the word stealing because that is what Wike is trying to do to them. His name is Colonel Paul Osa Ogbebu. He was born in 1942 and he died in 2020. He was a prominent Nigerian military officer, a Civil War veteran. I want you to take note of that word, Civil War veteran. He's also regarded as a respected elder statesman from Edo State. He was part of the pioneering class of the Nigerian Defense Academy, NDA. NDA was established in 1964. Wike was born in 1967. That means this man pioneered the establishment of NDA even before Wike was born. So with this in mind, you all know the kind of person we are talking about. This is a veteran. These are the people that gave birth to this country called Nigeria, the unity of Nigeria. That you are hearing about the unity of Nigeria today. This man was among those that kept this country together. When the war broke out, he was among those that fought against the Igbos, against the Biafran troops. I mean, that war remained one of the disastrous wars in the history of this country. It was a war that targeted the Igbo people. It was a war that killed the Igbo people because they wanted freedom out of this contraption called Nigeria. Millions of innocent Igbo children were killed by starvation. This man fought to keep this country together. This man fought to keep Nigeria where it is today, to keep the unity of this country intact. The blood and sweat of this man has been spilled on this ground, on this same ground called Nigeria, just to ensure that Nigeria continue to be what it is today. And as a prominent military veteran, he was given parcels of land in Abuja. As a reward to all he has done for Nigeria, as a reward to all the years of military service he has rendered to Nigeria. They gave him a parcel of land in Abuja. Abuja is the federal capital territory. That is where every politician in this country wants to own a piece of land in. He has been occupying this land ever since Wike thought of joining politics. Today, he is no more. He died in 2020. Wike that has not even sacrificed his life for this country. Wike that has not even contributed quarter of what this man contributed to this country. Wike that did not even experience the war, even though he experienced it when he was very small, very tender. Wike, whose survival was made possible because his people stole properties belonging to the Igbos. They call it abandoned properties. They used that properties to raise him, Wike, up. Today, that same Wike waited for a veteran, a Nigerian military officer, to die. 4 years after this man died, Wike is going to steal his property in Nigeria. Do you know the reason why I'm making this video? I am making this video to explain one thing that is happening in this country. When injustice is being meted to one person, the people at the given end of the injustice, they're always happy, they're always celebrating, they're always rejoicing. But when that same injustice turns against them, they'll be crying up and down. Look at the wife of a military veteran, a military officer who experienced the brutality that was unleashed on the Igbo people. This woman was there when her husband fought alongside the Nigerian army to destroy and kill millions of Igbo people. She did not say anything, but today she's going around on national television crying because the properties that was bequeathed to her husband, and that same property also belongs to her, is about to be taken by the same Nigerian government they fought for. We are talking about the same military men who balkanized the eastern region, who stole lands belonging to the Igbo people just because they wanted to create the South-South. After stealing lands belonging to the Igbo to create the South-South region, they are now calling the Igbo people the people that live in a dot nation. The same stealing they did after the war is what has visited them today. I wonder who she's crying to. I wonder who she really wants to come to her aid. I wonder who she really wants to come to her rescue. When the Igbo people were crying in this country, when the Igbo people properties were taken away from them, many properties belonging to the Igbos across the nation, across the country, were stolen. It was stamped abandoned properties. Nobody raised a voice for them. Nobody defended them. The money belonging to the Igbo people in the bank were confiscated by the federal government, and just £20 was given to the Igbo people to start life afresh. Nobody defended them. Nobody came for them. There was no voice that spoke in favor of the Igbo people. When it was the turn of the Igbo people, Nigerians were celebrating, they were happy. Now the same injustice is coming to them. They are everywhere crying, they are everywhere calling for people to come to their help. Nobody is going to come to your help because you supported injustice at one point in your life. Look at what is happening to Delefa Rotimi today. Some persons are celebrating the arrest, unlawful arrest and detention of Delefa Rotimi for defamation. Defamation is not a criminal offense, but people are celebrating it because they believe that Delefa Rotimi is speaking against the government, is speaking against their president. To them, Delefa Rotimi deserves everything that is coming his way. But a day is coming where this same injustice will be melted on them. A day is coming when power will change hand. And of course, power will definitely change hand. A new sheriff will come into this country. A new sheriff will come to town. And the people that held on to power today will no longer have that same power. I've been seeing something that's been going on social media. People are complaining that almost all the key government institutions in this country have been taken over by the Yoruba people. The CBN, immigration, the airport, every key government institution have been taken over by the Yoruba people. And people are complaining. Power has changed hand. When President Muhammadu Buhari was there, it was the Hausas that took over all the key government institutions in this country. They dominated everywhere. When Buhari did it, Hausa people were celebrating. They were happy. Now Tinubu is around. He's doing it. Hausa people are angry. They are sad. Yoruba people are celebrating. Power will definitely change hand. That same power will leave the hand of the Yoruba people and it will go into another tribe. Don't cry when that same tribe do the same thing that your king's men did to them. Of course, it is turn by turn, since we have not realized that we cannot grow and build this country the way we are doing it. We need to build this country in a collective responsibility. All hands must be on deck. We need to be patriotic to this country. We need to ensure that everyone is carried along in this country. When somebody is being abused in this country, when somebody is being treated unfairly in this country, we must all rise up and condemn it, because the injustice you don't condemn today will come after you tomorrow. Yes, if it come after you tomorrow, and if you do not speak up against an injustice that was meted to a fellow brother, nobody will speak up for you when that same injustice come upon you. Imagine the wife of a colonel going on national television to cry because her husband is no longer around. This will never have happened if the military was ruling this country. You dare not do this in a military regime. But what happened? Power has changed hand. That is the reason why the wife of a colonel is crying on a live television. Thank you for watching. I will leave you with the remaining part of our interview.
we've seen through that video. I mean, very sad one there. So sorry. The way forward probably for you will be, apart from all of this, to also call on the legal team. You know, but I want you. You said you don't go out to beg anybody, but I want you to speak to President Tinubu as we speak. You know, talk to him from your heart. I mean, you started by narrating the story of your very lovely husband, which you missed dearly, and I can see, you know, the emotions in your eyes, and sorry about what you're going through, you know, but I want you just to talk, get a chance to talk to President Tinubu. Now, you never know, he might be watching this, and just pour out your mind to him on this as much as you can.
Thank you very much. Thank you, I'll try. I will try.
Go ahead. He's probably listening, or people around him are listening. Just speak from your hearts to him and tell him your prayers, what you want.
What I want, number one, when I go to court, I want the courts to be left alone, to investigate and see whether Paul Ugbogbe is a criminal, is a land grabber, or you are giving his best to this country. As a soldier, and I'm in a bad shape now. I'm sorry.
Well, madam, we understand.
In a world of...
we understand your plight.
I am sorry. I want the court to be left alone. Let the court take the decisions. But I don't want to doubt the courts, because this is what I'm living for. The courts, Nigeria. I don't want to doubt the courts. I want the courts to look at this matter the way they should, legally, truly, panaciously. They should look at it. Because I have Paul Ugbogbe has over 10 men. 10 men. Who do we tell them? They saw their father. Their father gave them good example. What are they going to now say? They have a country. They have Nigeria. They can run to. Wow. He has grandchildren.
Madam.
What do we tell them?
Madam, we understand your concern, and I'm sure that many women in Nigeria and elsewhere in your condition will identify with you, fighting for your husband's legacy and also for your children's inheritance, and then standing up to say that Nigeria should treat people fairly, whether in the Federal Capital Territory or elsewhere.